And just like that, it's over. Thank God, because that was an absolute eyesore. That was hurting my brain, my eyes, and I was absolutely wasting my time. The fact that I've got to get up at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I had to go through all of that. Cardiff versus Chelsea, a cup game. It was never going to be easy, but my word, was it an eyesore. Starting off, the lineups. Coming into this game, obviously, a lot of criticism from the owners, Maresca, the comments he's made, back and forth, a little bit of tension. I don't know. Honestly, I don't care. I do not care, because for me, as long as Enzo Maresca is doing his job, that's what matters for me. And we can blame the owners all we want. We know they're useless. We've always known it. But today, he had made 11 changes. 11 changes from the Everton game. So, obviously, Jorgensen in goal, Achempong playing right back, Tosin, Badiashile centre-backs, Hato left back, Caicedo coming back from his suspension, Andre Santos next to him, Tyreek George on the right, Buonanotte in the middle, and Gittins on the left, and then up front, Mark Guiu. Now, the first question mark is, why on earth is Tosin playing? Why on earth is he getting a start? Because for me personally, the same Maresca that was criticising him in the interviews, you could easily put Chalobah on. You can easily put Chalobah on, and worst comes worst, if you want to rest Chalobah, move a Chempong to centre-back next to Badiashile, put Gusto right back. Simple. But no. No, he didn't want to do that. He wanted to bring on Tosin. Who, I mean, didn't have much to do in terms of defensively, but again, having him at the back is a bit of a liability, if I'm being honest. I've completely lost faith in him. I don't want him playing for Chelsea, I'll be honest. It just makes me sick. After everything he's done, I'm just there like, nah man, not for me personally. But obviously in the attacking mid position, you've got Buonanotte, who got the assist today, but didn't have his best game, if I'm being honest. More of a reason to say that, why did we get him? Honestly, signing didn't make sense. When I first saw it, didn't make sense. I rated F. F might be harsh, but for me, it just didn't make sense. Now, you got Tyreek George on the right, Gittins on the left. Tyreek George is probably one of our better technical shooters, in the sense where he can actually hit a ball. For whatever reason, Gittins, Garnacho, which I'll talk about soon, João Pedro, like these guys, they're not like clinical shooters. Tyreek George is. And he's better either on the left or in the middle. Like, put him on the right, which didn't make sense to me. Esteval didn't even make the squad. And I can't lie, there was no sources to say why he didn't. It must have been a last minute thing. So, probably later on after the game, the post interviews, we're going to see things. But at the moment, this is right after the game, nothing has been said. And then Mark Guiu up front, which obviously had to be rotated, let's be real. But talking about the game itself, I mean, we are obviously dominated in terms of stats, but really and truly, Cardiff put up a fight. I know they're at home, but still, they put up an absolute fight. Typical cup game this was. And from a Chelsea point of view, it's absolutely rubbish. The fact that they were giving us a hard time is ridiculous. And for me, personally, the game should have been wrapped up so much sooner. I can't believe that the game didn't get wrapped up earlier. Like, 3-1, yes, that was the scoreline. It was 2-1 up until when? 82nd minute when Neto scored, and then the 93rd minute where Garnacho scored. So really and truly, we were comfortable in the 93rd minute. Because even 2-1, Cardiff had a few opportunities. So, for me personally, I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, 3-1, we absolutely dominated and talk rubbish. No, it was not a good game. Garnacho today, man the match because he got his 2 goals. 3 shots out of 5. So the conversion rate was a lot better in terms of shot accuracy. Got the 2 goals today. However, there is still that criticism there where, for me, it frustrates me that Garnacho can't finish. Like, yes, he got the 2 goals. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking it away from him. But he could have got more. Easily could have got more. But I think the one talking point, and again, I don't want you guys to think that every time I talk about Chelsea, I want to be negative. I'm not being negative. This is just criticism, because for me, I back Enzo Maresca. Like, I want to back him till the very end. And for me, what I think annoys me the most is that there's no flexibility when it comes to his tactics. Very similar to Ruben Amorim, in the sense where obviously he has a certain style of play that he wants to stick to, but when you don't have those players available, are you able to tweak it? Tweak the tactics. For example, right? You've got Tyreek, George and Gittins. For me personally, invert them and they'll play a lot better. Because they get to the touchline and then pass it back. Gittins, for me, has become more of a playmaker. Shout out my boy Miro, he said it. Copy and paste of Sancho. Sancho reincarnation. Like, he's more of a playmaker than he is an actual attacking winger. So why not invert them, make them closer to the striker so they can play off each other. And today, even the bench as well. Luckily, Pedro Neto saved us, because otherwise it was looking dark. But off the bench, we didn't really have much. Garnacho came off the bench, obviously. Scored 2 goals. João Pedro got an assist, but hey. Back of the shirt, I've got João Pedro. And I can't lie, brother, a lot of people are losing faith. I'm trying to hang in there, but it is hard to back you. I'm not even backing you, but I'm not going to turn against you, because it feels like João Pedro cannot get a shot on. That's it. He can't even get a shot on. Like, literally, 1 shot on target, 1 shot off target, and 2 shots blocked. Like, he takes so long to shoot. I feel like he's reloading it. Like, he feels stiff when he's about to take a shot. Like, he doesn't have that instinct of shooting, which is annoying, because as a Chelsea number 9, you should be a bagsman. And again, it goes back to that same story year on, year out. When was the last time we've had a real bagsman? And we keep buying players that aren't bagsmen. And it's crazy to me. But, yeah. Gusto came on, obviously, tried to change the game. Pedro Neto came on, got the goal, the winning goal, which was important. So thank God for him. And he is our top goal scorer at the moment. Pedro Neto this season is getting the GA. So I'm happy for him. Because obviously, over the past few years, I feel like his biggest criticism was the GA side of things. Like, taking on players, cool, whatever. But really and truly, you're not getting your name on the books. So this year might be the year for him. Enzo Fernandez was on the bench for Fana and Reece James and Sanchez, who, let's be real, weren't gonna sniff this game. There was no need to, but we had to make use of it. We had to pull the big guns, use all our substitutions. But yeah, not a great performance from Chelsea, if I'm being totally honest with you. Again, that tactical tweaks that should be made when playing these smaller teams. Like, fair play to Cardiff, like I said, they put up a big fight. Even their goal. Like, it was poor defending from us. Tossing, Badiashile, not marking each other. Everyone was just... It was a great header. But the man marking was poor. Shocking. That goal shouldn't go in. And obviously Jorgensen was nowhere near it. But it was a great header. But the man marking was poor. Allowing the cross to even happen. Poor. No closing down. No pressing. No nothing. Got a bit complacent. And it cost us. But, yeah. I mean, God forbid we lost that game. God forbid. Because, honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell you what would happen if we lost that game. But, tomorrow, is it? Yeah. City versus Brentford. Newcastle versus Fulham. So, obviously, those are going to be the remaining games. And then Arsenal versus Crystal Palace next week. So, hopefully, I'm going to be honest with you. I was listening to Matisse during his live watch-along. And not to say this in a... what's the word I'm looking for? Not to be full of myself, but I feel like it would be nice to have Arsenal in the semi-final. Reason being, and I'm sure you Arsenal fans could also agree as well, Chelsea fans maybe, but if we do get Arsenal, I'd rather them in the semi-final. Because there's two legs. When was the last time? I can't even remember the last time that we played Arsenal in over two legs. It's always been a one match, whether it was the FA Cup final, whether it's a Premier League game, whether it was Baku, whatever it may be, a semi-final in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup. Like, we want to play you guys over two legs just to see, can we get the result over the two legs, which would be interesting for me. Whether we win it or not is a whole different conversation. But for me personally, that would be quite interesting. But obviously, the teams that I expect to go through, which was obviously Chelsea, City, Newcastle, and Arsenal. Hey, it's going to be a naughty semi-final, I must say. I think tomorrow they're doing the draw after the two games are done, so we'll see what happens there. And the final thing I want to talk about, and I want you guys to let me know as well in the comments. So, I've sort of looked at Chelsea and Arsenal, because Chelsea are the second best defensive team in the league, and Arsenal are the best team in the league. Joint best, Chelsea. Chelsea have conceded only 15 goals in the Prem. Arsenal, I believe 10, if I'm not mistaken. But the difference between Chelsea and Arsenal at the moment, right? When you look at it, I don't think Arteta has made that much rotation in comparison to Enzo Maresca. And I think that's fair to say. Enzo Maresca has made a lot of rotation that had cost him in games. However, if you look at it as well, where Arsenal haven't made those changes, or not significant changes, like today we made 11 changes in the Cup. Let's see what Arsenal do against Crystal Palace. And again, it's a bigger game, 100%. Don't get it twisted. But, for me, the way I'm seeing it, Enzo Maresca, as much as I hate the rotations when it doesn't make sense, but the players are somewhat staying fit, if you think about it, right? Because obviously Cole ACL, unfortunate. Cole Palmer, he's managing his minutes. He's not even in the squad. Reece James, managing his minutes. Fofana, managing his minutes. So these players, he's managing their minutes. Whereas, you look at Arteta's squad. I mean, I want to see the amount of injuries they have. Just very quickly, I'm going to have a look. You got Havertz that's injured at the moment. You've got obviously Max Darwin that's injured at the moment. Gabriel, Ben White, Mascara. I believe Calafiori's suspended as well. So there's been a few injuries for Arsenal. And now the question for you guys is, would you rather be in Chelsea's situation or would you rather be in Arsenal's situation? Obviously, it is straightforward. You're going to say Arsenal. But I'm talking about across the whole season, where Arsenal are picking up more injuries because there's not as much rotation. And obviously, the amount of games that the players are playing is ridiculous. But Chelsea are making a lot more rotations. There are less injuries due to the players being tedious. But, I don't know. For me, I think... Call me crazy, but I feel like that's going to be the downfall of Arsenal this season. The lack of rotation made across the whole season. And that's where the injuries will start picking up. And obviously, I never like to see anyone get injured. But, for me personally, I feel like that's going to be the downfall of Mikel Arteta. But, we can only wait and see. I can only pray on their downfall. Hope they lose every game. Even though that's not going to happen. But, let's see. Yeah, guys... As always, like, comment, subscribe. Glad it's over, man. And we got Newcastle away. So, yeah. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Take care. And peace.